Mikel Arteta has affirmed that Arsenal is going to make massive signings in January. He has spoken it from his own mouth, and this is music to ears to all Arsenal fans all over the world. And I think this is something that you would love to hear in a situation like this, when you are 5 points clear ahead of Man City, the defending champions of the Premier League of the last previously concluded season 2021-2022, because this is what you would love to see your team make. Your manager coming out and confirming that you are going to go all out and really spend huge into the transfer market. He has talked about Thomas Partey, Ben White, the young players, and obviously the players that excited him in the World Cup transfer, that he might go all out and sign for Arsenal, because you know how Mikel Arteta does his stuff. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. It's a Wednesday. World Cup semi-final day 2 is into motion today. France taking on Morocco. Africans are really going to go on and support Morocco, but there is a banter being thrown to France that it's like Africa is going to be battling Africa, because when you look at France, they are almost having French players. Look at Upamecano, look at Rafael Varane coming in from Algeria, look at Chiomini, I think he's Cameroon. Then there is Kylian Mbappe, there is almost players that France are really having. Most of them are really Africans. I think the typical French players involved are the goalkeeper, that is Hugo Lloris, Rabiot, Antonio Griezmann. I think those are the only 3-4 players that are really in for France. Jules Koundé is also African, so it shows you how huge France is accommodating African talent, and that's a banter being thrown to them. And I say, all right, let's wait and see who is really going to win, because I want to see the best team win on the field of play. But remember, Morocco has a start. It has not conceded any goal from the open play, apart from the own goal they conceded against Canada. They've had 43 shots directed to their goal, but only 7 have been on target. It shows you how massive they are when it comes to defending their goal area. So let's wait and see how that's going to happen, but it's going to happen at around 22 hours. That's when the game of football is going to happen. So right now, allow me get into this, but don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because we want to hit 9,000 subscribers. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. And obviously it's Rokani Media Football. Rokani David is my name. Let's get into this. Now, Mikel Arteta, after Arsenal beat AC Milan by 2-1 and they won the Dubai Super Cup, he said the following on the January transfer window. He said, "We are looking and we are very active in the possibilities. If we can find the players that will strengthen the team, we will try." You see, that's a confirmation coming in from Mikel Arteta that Arsenal is really going to go all hard to sign players in the January transfer window. Him telling you that if we can find players that will strengthen the team, we can try. Now, the question is, has Arsenal found players that will strengthen their squad? The answer is yes. Now, if they found them, and the manager told us that if at all they find players that suit their team or strengthen their team, they will go on. That means they're obviously going to go on and buy. Is Arsenal's team weak compared to how it was before we went to the World Cup break? The answer is yes. Why? The man that has turned around the Arsenal season, that is Gabriel Jesus, is injured. Meaning that they have to go on and really get in players to go on and strengthen this team better and better and better. Reason being, Mikel Arteta knows how Gabriel Jesus really did this. Secondly, Jesus is a player that put Arsenal where it is. You can't come out into a season and rely onto a striker whose return is untimely. This was confirmed to us by Mikel Arteta that they don't know the real time frame that is going to be required for Gabriel Jesus to return back on his legs to start to play for Arsenal. And second, him coming back from injury, you are risking your season if at all you don't get another striker, because what if he returns and then he goes back on another prolonged injury? So the best option is go in and bring in another player that is going to be reliable. Even if Gabriel Jesus comes back, Arsenal will be a stronger team because you'll be having 3 center forwards. In this season, or next season, Arsenal won't be needing to go to the market to look for another centre forward if at all they spend money on a centre forward in the January transfer window, meaning that in the summer, Arsenal will be focusing on different players altogether, and that would be the best option for them. Secondly, Arsenal never spent a penny last January, and this previous summer that they concluded, they spent £121 million. What does that mean? Money is there. Money is there to spend. Secondly, they had a budget of £200 million to spend. Obviously, they spent £121 million, having a balance of £79 million. Remember, they sold off players like Guendouzi, you get, at 9.5. They sold Bernard Leno at £10 million. This other player, Torreira, they sold him at like £80 million, meaning that Arsenal in sales collected close to £30 million from sales. And when you add on the loan fees of Florin Barrogan, there is Patino, the other one is the goalkeeper that went to, there is Okonkwo, there is another that went to Turkey, there is Pablo Mari, Nuno Tavares, Maitland Niles. So I think Arsenal collected close to 40 million from sales, meaning that they're having some good money with them. And obviously the money they had to spend on the deadline day is still available. That was close to 30 million pounds that Arsenal really needed to spend, meaning that if at all you add the money, the 40 they collected from sales and loan fees of the players in the summer, plus the 30 that they were using to buy players like Douglas Luiz, Yuri Tielemans, and Danilo, it shows you that Arsenal has a budget of like £80 million to spend in the January transfer window. So the manager is confirming to us that they are going to go in and strengthen. And if at all you are asked which areas do Arsenal need to strengthen in this winter transfer window, obviously the most obvious is the center forward. They need a striker to come on and really lead that line for them until Gabriel Jesus comes in. I'm going to show you the fixtures of Arsenal when I'm done with these stories to show you how hard it is for Arsenal to go, to show you how risky it is for Arsenal to go into the remaining half of the season without making signings, because there are very many games that Arsenal are going to play and they need to go out and capitalize on winning them to see to it that they really go ahead and win this Premier League. Now, Gabriel Jesus injured, more obvious, centre forward position needs to be restrained or strengthened at Arsenal. The other option that I believe Mikel Arteta has really said no to, that is not going to sign a player that is a winger who plays on the left or right, on the right attacking side of the midfield, is where Bukayo Saka plays. That's it. Because all the games that Arsenal has played down in Dubai against Lyon, they won 3-0, and against AC Milan that they won 2-1. Fabio Vieira has been playing in the Bukayo Saka position. And to bring you up to speed, the first game that Fabio Vieira played for the reserves of Arsenal under-21s, he was played in that position, meaning that he wants to transform him into like a Bernardo Silva or a Phil Foden, because he can play very well in the midfield, central midfield area, but he also wants to see to it that he can come and really play as a right forward or a right attacking midfielder, because Bukayo Saka needs some rest, meaning that if at all he wants to go on and bring in a player of a quality of Fabio to play that side, that confirms to all of us that Arsenal is not going to go in for a winger, to see to it that they cater for the central forward position and central midfielder position. I believe Arsenal might go in and sign 3 players. One, they need midfielders. They need a central midfielder. They need a centre forward. And they need a central defender. But for the central defender, it looks like Ndika is going to join Arsenal in the summer on a free. What does that mean? they might go in and bring in one, and when Indica comes in through, they offload Rob Holding, because to me, I believe Rob Holding is really one of those players that you can't rely your season on. So Arsenal might sign 2 or 3 players, but most importantly, a central midfielder and a centre forward, meaning that if they bring in Mikel Modric, obviously he'll compete with Martinelli off the left attacking side of the midfield, and Emile Smith-Rowe will come in through and compete with Martin Odegaard. But roving is really going to be considered in that Arsenal side. Lots of rotations are going to be made, and Mikel Arteta believes that him having a fully 22-man fully squad is what is going to lead him to what he calls victory of Arsenal. This is a statement he made towards the end of last season, that he wants a fully fit 22-man squad, meaning that in every position Mikel Arteta wants 2 players to compete for a position in his team. And obviously, you know what competition leads to? Competition leads to success, because every player would love to play on top of his game. After that, the World Cup has been taking place, and to add more beef to the story of Arteta confirming that Arsenal are really going to go on and be very active in the transfer window, he has gone ahead and let us know of which players caught his eye in the World Cup. He said there are a few, and few national teams as well. A lot of things they are doing are very interesting, and it shows where the game is going, where it is evolving. But as for players, I'll keep that to myself. So, out of the players that have been playing the World Cup, we've seen Arsenal not linked to many, not so. But the manager is confirming to us that obviously they are really interested in some players at the World Cup, and is saying he's keeping them to himself. But I believe that sorry about that. I have a belief in me that Arsenal have already made their choices. That's it. Obviously, every manager has been excited with 1 or 2 players at the World Cup. But managers like Mikel Arteta and his boss, Edu, have already made a list. They have their list with them, and they make a list of 3 players per position. They have plan A, B, and C, maybe even a D. So, how do they do this? Let me give you an example. When they're looking for a left back for Arsenal to come in and do the needful, they had Lisandro Martinez on top of their list in the summer, because he would play well in the central defensive midfield, central defense, and obviously the left back. The second option was Zinchenko, the third was Grimaldo, and the fourth was they had a 4th option. So when the first option said no to them and went to Manchester United because it was their priority signing in that position of the left back, they went in for the second signing. You get? And they've done it in very many positions. So I believe Arsenal are really having a plan. I don't believe that we're going to see a player that played or impressed at the World Cup join Arsenal. They are going Mikel Modric, the centre forward, of which I don't know who they are going to sign. Is it João Felix, Vlahovic, name it, or Ivan Toney? I don't know. Then they will go for a central defender, and in the midfield you might see Tielemans, Danilo, all which other player they're talking about. I've forgotten that player, but their choices are obvious. But their first choices are obvious, but their second choices and third, that's really the huge problem in there for you, because we don't know what their second and third choices are. But their first choices are obvious to me, that we've known them. Now, on Thomas Partey, he said he played a lot at the World Cup. It takes a few days to rest, reset, and start to focus on the team. The good thing we have is that everyone has been showing that they are desperate to get back and they want to be ready as quick as possible. So to me, however much he said all that, but there is one positive I've seen in Thomas Partey's season at Arsenal. The way he recovered from injury, and he's playing very, very well ever since he returned the game of Brentford from injury after missing out that game of Manchester United. He has not missed out on any single game of Arsenal. He has played against Brentford, Spurs, Liverpool, Leeds, Southampton, Chelsea. Ever since he has returned, he has played all those games for Arsenal. He has played them all. He played against Wolverhampton Wanderers too, not so? So he played very many games ever since he came in through. And then he went ahead to add on some more 3 in the World Cup. Those are how many? Those are 10. He has added one more when Arsenal was playing AC Milan. I know he's going to play. He's going to play a big part in the game that Arsenal is going to play at the Emirates on Saturday when they are playing Juventus. So I believe lots of things are really going to happen at Arsenal side. But to me, I would like to applaud and extend my gratitude to the physio and medical team of Arsenal for coming out and really treating Thomas Partey, because last season he was really badly off into his season. Now, Arteta had the following to say about Ben White playing again. He said, "I'm very pleased. Everybody has been giving him a lot of support and love, which is what he needed. You know the reasons why he had to leave the camp, and we are delighted. We are delighted to have him back and have him in really good shape." Talking of, we know the reasons why he left the camp. They are undisclosed. And if Arteta is saying that you know the reasons, meaning that the story that came after the FA of England coming out that he has personal issues, that's why he really left the camp, is really right. He fell out with the manager. That's it. And for that, I'm speaking this. Even when I was breaking that story on this channel, I told you that he might have broke out with the manager of England. And that's what happened. That's why he was sent back home. And I know that story is going to build on and on and on and on and on, and the reality will come in through. But Ben White returning is really a very good addition to Arsenal, and I've seen a story of Dumfries being linked to Arsenal. So I don't believe that he's going to come in through, because this player is £50 million. And if I told you, Mikel Arteta, to go on and confirm to your bosses that I can use the players that I've signed in my era to back you up to go on and bring more players, you have to go on and really field your most expensive player at the club that is Ben White. And I think he has not betrayed him. He has played very well. Last season, he played very well in the central defense partnership alongside Gabriel Magalhaes. When Saliba came in through, Ben White was switched onto the right back, and we know that he's really a player that plays in various positions. He can play even in the central defense midfield, that is Ben White. He plays in every position of the central defense, even the central midfield. It shows you how good he is, and he's the best passer of the ball, plus Zinchenko in that Arsenal defense. That's why Mikel Arteta loves him a lot, but he's telling us that he's in good shape, and he played some minutes yesterday when Arsenal was beating AC Milan in Dubai. Now, Arteta, on bringing on the youngsters, he said if we want to develop players, you have to expose them to different contexts, and today I thought it was a perfect contest to understand how they can compete. We have to put them in those scenarios so we can develop our players. Obviously, Nwaneri, Salah, which other came in through, Marquinhos, and very many others came on through and really played a very big job into that win of Arsenal that they won 2-1 against AC Milan. My worry was when they added 7 minutes and very many Arsenal youngsters on the field of play, but they really resisted AC Milan that really had lots of good players to go on and put them into that caliber of a team. Now, Arsenal is going to go ahead and really resume its season on the 26th of December. And let's see, or have a look through in the fixtures Arsenal are really going to be having into that period. Arsenal are going to be having the following upcoming fixtures. On the 17th, they are playing Juventus. That's a friendly. 26th December, they are hosting West Ham. 31st December, another tricky one. They are going away at Brighton, Next Stadium. Then they are hosting Newcastle on the 3rd of January. Another huge one. 9th January, that's the FA Cup. They are playing away at Oxford United. 15th of January, they are playing Tottenham Hotspur away at home, away in London. But that's another London derby that is coming in through to do the needful. I know United is in the mix and very many other huge teams. So Arsenal has a lot to do. Arsenal has a lot to do. That's why Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to confirm to you that they are in for the market and actively to go in and sign players in January. Thank you for watching in through. What are your reactions to what I've talked about, especially Arteta affirming massive January signings for the club of Arsenal, meaning that he's going gung-ho to see to it that he brings in more players at the club of Arsenal. Rokani David is my name. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. Don't forget to smash the like button close to 200 times on this channel, and let's keep it rolling. Thank you, and keep spreading the love onto this channel. I'm out, guys.